Hey, ideators and entrepreneurs, CUNY Startups here. Welcome to CUNY and Beyond, the podcast dedicated to helping aspiring entrepreneurs through storytelling. We're excited to dive into the entrepreneurial endeavors of CUNY students, alum, and bonus entrepreneurs who are willing to share their valuable insights with you. Join us for today's show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to CUNY and Beyond. I'm Gail Yankosik, and I'm your host. Joining me are two very interesting young men, Kyle Graham and Ash Jalal, and they have an amazing product that they are going to tell us about. But before we get there, I just want to talk to them a little bit about their backgrounds. Kyle, you have an interesting background because you came from the military, correct?
That is true, yeah. I'm in the Navy, so in the Navy Reserve, I should say. Still in. Actually, when Ash and I started the idea, I was getting ready to go on deployment. And that's where I kind of had that time over that year to kind of think it through.
Cool. And Ash, how did you come to this? You both knew each other from school, right? Are you both CUNY veterans?
Yep. Yeah, we actually both met our first semester at LaGuardia Community College.
Ah, okay.
In a math class. And funny story, Kyle, when I met him, we were going around saying what we wanted to do. And Kyle told me he wants to be the president of the United States. And at that moment, I was like, that's my guy. I got to stick with him.
I like it. I like it. How soon can you become president, please?
Another 5 years before I'm eligible.
Good. You came together, you met in class at LaGuardia. So where did you go from LaGuardia?
Ash, you want to go first?
Yeah, I went to John Jay.
I went to Brooklyn College. I studied political science. And we spent about a year and a half there and graduated.
Okay, cool. I teach at Hunter, so we're all sort of involved.
Yeah.
And I've been with CUNY Startups for a very long time, so it's a nice synergy. The project you're working on is called Bill Clarity. Explain, Ash, if you could, what that means.
The problem, what we're solving is people, like yourself, myself, we get bills in the mail when we go to the doctor, and they're using all these medical terms for each itemized charge, and you don't really know what it means. So essentially what the product does is it allows you to scan your bill, and it'll make it easy for you to understand and tell you if there are any suspicious charges. And I'll let Kyle take it from there.
What we're doing is kind of helping people organize and understand what they're paying for every month. I remember one time Ash had told me to check out this site where it would help you kind of unsubscribe from like email, right?
Yes, I've heard of that. I don't know how true that is, but I have heard about it.
It doesn't work.
I felt like I got more emails than work. Yeah. But that's really kind of like the idea behind it, right? Because folks, I always say all the time, people say, I'm making enough money, but I don't know where it's going.
And although we didn't try to tackle, obviously, subscriptions and emails, we, while sleeping on it, thought about, hey, well, bills would probably be the best way to kind of go about it, helping people sort of clean up their bills and understand what they're paying, for, the usage behind it, and if they still really need it, right?
Tell me, Ash, before we get into the project, where did this idea come from? Kyle just mentioned a little bit ago that, people get these bills in the mail, but what was your sort of aha moment when you said, I want to develop this?
So I think it's a mix of kind of how technology has advanced recently. And there's something called OCR, which is optical character recognition. OCR has come to the point where essentially what it does is it can take a picture and pull text from it. And that's something that's recently, it's been around for a while, but it's recently gotten good. So you can accurately pull data from bills or anything you scan. Once that came into our perspective, and we saw that, okay, what can we do to make people's lives easier using this technology? And like Kyle mentioned, it came an inspiration from other products that were out there. And then one day I remember me and Kyle were talking, and we were like, oh, these bills, I don't know what any of this means. And then it kind of just hit us like, oh, well, why don't we try to build something where we can scan our bill and it'll just answer all the questions we have. So I'd say that was the aha moment. It's kind of, I'd say it's a little bit of luck of just being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it also, it seems to me that you hit on it at the right time, certainly, but you hit on a issue that everybody's experiences. Kyle, can you address it a little bit in that I just got a bill for something and I looked at it and I was like, what? Where is this from? Is this true? Is this not true? What was your goal once you got together? What were you hoping to happen?
When Ash had told me, hey, type in your email and show y'all, I was like, we can find something like that actually works, right? And do it for bills. And I think for us, the idea was to allow people, again, to understand the usage behind things, right? We're hoping that we can kind of help people upload their bills or their kind of like transaction history into this, kind of see the usage, tell them, hey, you've used this product or this subscription, twice this month, or you haven't used it in the past 6 months, and then help them kind of make the determination, maybe I should get rid of it, or maybe I should scale down from the higher subscription.
Ash, is this going to be a website, an app? What is your hope for this?
It would be a web app, as most things are, and we see that in the technology landscape. I mean, things are rolling out as web apps first, and then based on the traction it builds and how popular it gets, then it transitions into a mobile app.
Okay, that seems to make sense. You're the businessman. I'm not a businesswoman in that sense, but where do you feel your target age group is for this? Where are you thinking the people that would use this the most are?
Yeah, so our target audience would be, our generation, the millennials. And that's because, we're used to our parents kind of dealing with all of our medical stuff and our bills. And we're coming to that point where we're going out on our own and we're now handling the bills. And we feel like we would make that transition a lot easier for our demographic.
What do you think is the best part of this project, the best part of the app when it happens? What do you think is going to be the thing that will initially grab people?
I think the cost saving is, and the clarity of it, being able to understand your bills and understand how much money you're spending. And the ultimate goal here is to save people money. So if we can execute on that, then I think it's a successful product.
Have you gotten into this stage yet about, you probably haven't, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway, is this going to be a subscription, a freemium? Have you thought about any of that? I know it's really early, but I also know when you listen to something like this, you're going to go, how much is that going to cost me?
So initially, we're looking to go for a B2B where we'd be able to offer it to different organizations so they can offer it to their employees, kind of like how Headspace, which is a meditating app, they sell to companies and their companies offer it as a perk for working. That would be subscription based for the companies. But there is a plan to eventually transition to B2C where it would be also a subscription. We want to save you money. We don't want to charge you so much that, you're going to have to use our product to see how much we're charging you. But
that makes sense.
Yeah. But we're exploring ideas of offering it free for students, specifically in the CUNY system. Like when we do launch, you really can't calculate those kind of things or make those decisions until you can calculate your usage, how much it's charging you. You're getting charged on the back end to, hold up the whole infrastructure and stuff like that. So we're not really there yet, but hopefully we'll be there soon.
Kyle, how big is the team working on this? Is it just the two of you right now, or do you have advisors with you? And where are you in the development of it?
When it comes to the team and the staff that's working on this with us, right now it's myself and Ash. We're working on it together. We are at the phase right now where we're going to start bringing on a team of developers or maybe a developer to help us, with some back end stuff, which Ash, because we have the front end of it down packed in a sense. We started building like the MVP model of it, which is going really well. And we were thinking about Q3 or Q4. When we talk about go to market, we're talking about, in the next 3 to 6 months to have like a very go to market baseline product that people can use. We can actually like send over, the link or the website to friends and family and supporters. Gail, you and the whole CUNY startup team will be the first to know when we get ready to go to market and actually be able to utilize the product.
I'll be signing up when you get it operational. So when you go B2C, because I can't understand my medical bills when they come in. But I think it just seems, how long have you, Ash, how long have you been working on this?
Like actually building out the product, we found it in 2023, but a lot of that, we didn't start building to, I'd say, about 6 months ago.
Okay.
And we really, artificial intelligence where it's at now has enabled us to it gives you the confidence, and you kind of have a genius sitting in front of your computer where you can ask any questions. So that's helped a lot. And in the past 6 months, it's allowed us to make, to actually be at the point where by December we think we can launch.
That's terrific. I think we all have to come to terms with AI to use it responsibly. Is the right way, but it can be a great tool in any industry at this point, but we have to be responsible about it. Gentlemen, you'll have to come back when you're ready when it's launched and we can find out how you're doing. I thank you for taking the time today. We've been talking with Kyle Graham and Ash Dalal, both of whom are working on their genius idea called Bill Clarity, and it will help all of us figure out those bills when they come in the mail, when the language we don't understand. So it's been terrific speaking with both of you. Thank you for taking the time out, and good luck. Keep us posted on what's going on, please.
Thank you, Gail.
Again, thank you so much for doing this highlight or overview of our company, Bill Clarity.
And I won't lose my focus.